been quite a few days since we've been on the floor as a quorum, and we asked for lawful, we asked for constitutional, we asked for compromise. We have received that from your side.
After a 6-week-long walkout, today enough Oregon Republicans returned to the Senate floor to have a quorum. With less than a week and a half until the end of the legislative session, the Senate has lost 6 weeks to get through a lot of bills. There are hundreds of measures that need work, including budget bills. Minority Leader Tim Knopp says Republicans want to finish the session out in bipartisan fashion. Good evening. Thanks for joining us for KT News at 4. I'm Deborah Now.
And I'm Right Gasway. This was the longest walkout in state history. The Senate is now making up for lost time. Today, the chamber sent several bills to the Rules Committee. Senators also suspended the rule that all bills on final passage be read in full on the floor.
K2 is on your side with team coverage at the state capitol today. Our State House reporter, Christina Giardinelli, has been covering this walkout since day one. She's breaking down what exactly the Democrats compromised on that convinced the Republicans to return to work.
And K2's Steve Dunn spoke to several lawmakers on both sides about the stalemate finally ending and how they're going to work together moving forward. Steve, walk us through what happened today.
Well, as you know, right, because you've been down here covering this as well, this has been a long haul for the entire state of Oregon. All started on May the 3rd, put more than 100 bills on hold that a lot of people were concerned about. Both sides, Democrats and Republicans, compromised on bills that are important to them. We'll go through those bills in a moment. I heard from both the top Democrat and the top Republican in this battle. How are they feeling after this long fight? What lies ahead? Here are Senators Wagner and Knopp.
Really, the Democrats willing to negotiate and to work with us in a bipartisan way to try to get these bills done in a way that respected our values and their values. And it's unfortunate that it took a 42-day walkout to prove that point, and 13 people risking their political futures to do that, but we felt so strongly in lawful and constitutional and bipartisan that we were willing to do it.
Oregonians were clear that we needed reproductive freedom and access to abortion care in our Oregon state statute. That bill gets it done. The second thing is that we need to protect providers and our clinics. That bill gets it done. And the third thing is that we have the strongest gender-affirming care legal language and statute in terms of insurance provision. Couldn't be prouder of those main 3 tenets of the bill.
There you go. There's the top Democrat, top Republican talking about what they feel good about in these bills and the amendments. State House reporter Christina Giardinelli is also live at the Capitol. She's been covering this story since day one. This walkout stemmed from disagreement on 2 specific bills. What changed with those bills, Christina, to bring Republicans back to the table and back to the Senate floor?
Yeah, major changes to both those bills. Now, as you know, we reported a few weeks ago the major sticking point in negotiations was House Bill 2002, which expands abortion rights. Now, initially, the Democrats believed that Republicans would not come back to work until that bill was killed. Republicans instead believed that the majority party was not willing to amend that bill. Now, I'm told all of that changed on May 31st when both parties realized that there was room for compromise and began those negotiations again. After a week of intense closed-door negotiations, they struck a deal. It changes House Bill 2002 to require minors under the age of 15 to get parental consent for an abortion, unless a doctor believes parental involvement could put the teen in danger. Portions of the measure that protect abortion providers from retaliation for the work they do are staying in the bill. Also unchanged are portions of the bill that require insurance companies to cover gender-affirming care. Now, some major changes also made to House Bill 2005 on gun control. A lot of portions of that bill were taken out. I'll break down which ones coming up at 5 and 6 p.m. For now, back to you, Steve.
All right, we'll see you back here at 5 o'clock, Christina. Thank you for that. Now that the Senate is back in session, they'll only have about 10 days to pass more than 100 bills. Can they possibly do it? They say they can. And the budget as well, by the way. The regular session ends on June 25th. We're also working to get an update on Measure 113. That was the law that voters passed last November that bars lawmakers with too many unexcused absences from running for re-election. Many Republicans are trying to challenge that law. What will Democrats do about that? And what about the fines, too, imposed on the Republicans? I've heard there are talks going on right now to possibly drop those fines. We'll see what happens there. Been a long 6 weeks, but at least for now, everybody is going back to work. More coverage for you. More reaction as well from here at the Capitol. Back to you in the studio.
Steve Dunn, thank you for that. See you back here at 5 o'clock as well. Governor Tina Kotek declined our request for an on-camera interview today, but in a statement she said this, quote, Oregonians are demanding progress on many urgent challenges. I'm glad to see the Senate is back to doing the work of the people. We will continue to ask her for a sit-down interview to discuss the walkout, the resolution, and the end of the session.
K2's live team coverage will continue from the Capitol tonight on K2 News at 5. We'll be at the Capitol for the rest of the session, checking in on the bills that they do pass and their promise for bipartisanship.